All right, Cowboys Nation, buckle up because we have massive, jaw-dropping news that nobody saw coming. Trevon Diggs is officially out, and it is shaking the foundation of the Dallas Cowboys organization. This is more than just an injury update. This is more than just your average off-season drama. This is about one of the highest-paid cornerbacks in the entire NFL. Yes, the same Trevon Diggs who inked that monstrous $97 million contract extension in 2023, which could rise to $104 million with bonuses, bringing his total projected value to over $120 million when you factor in long-term incentives, endorsements, and bonus clauses. And now, just like that, he's out. Gone. Sidelined. The defensive star of the Dallas Cowboys, the ball hawk who electrified the league with 11 interceptions in 2021 and who followed that up with Pro Bowl-level play, has once again suffered a devastating knee injury that may not just cost him the 2025 season, but may have long-term implications for his career moving forward. This is bigger than anyone expected. This isn't just about rehab. This is about whether Trevon Diggs will ever return to his elite form and whether the Dallas Cowboys are ready to move on from a player they thought would anchor their defense for the next 5 years. Now let's rewind for a second. In 2023, the Cowboys made a statement by locking up Diggs long term. They saw his growth from a young, sometimes over-aggressive corner, to a true playmaker who could shut down elite receivers, bait quarterbacks, and completely flip the field. They believed in him. Jerry Jones believed in him. Dan Quinn, then the defensive coordinator, vouched for him. And the fans? The fans were all in. Jerseys sold like wildfire, his highlights trended every Sunday, and Trevon became not just a core Cowboy, but a symbol of the new generation of defensive dominance in Dallas. So when he tore his ACL during a late September practice in 2023, it was a gut punch. The team held it together, mostly thanks to the breakout emergence of Darren Bland, who ended up leading the league in interceptions and even breaking records with 5 pick-sixes in a single season. But still, in every press conference and every sideline shot, Diggs' absence was felt. Fast forward to early 2025, and just when Cowboys fans were finally getting hopeful again, expecting a fully healthy Diggs to return and partner up with Bland to form the scariest CB duo in the league, disaster struck again. Reports came out that Diggs had been dealing with persistent knee discomfort throughout his rehab and that he would undergo an advanced cartilage repair procedure, something far more serious than your typical ACL cleanup. Not only does this suggest complications from the original surgery, but it also casts doubt on whether his knee can ever hold up under the strain of elite NFL movement again. And this is where it gets real complicated, real fast. Because this isn't just about an injury. This is about value, cap space, risk, and yes, legacy. The Cowboys are now in an impossible situation. Do they hold on to Trevon Diggs and hope for a miracle recovery, risking the possibility that he may never regain his lateral burst, his confidence, or his ability to match up against the league's fastest wideouts? Or do they take the cold, calculated route and consider offloading or releasing him, saving themselves cap room in the future, and doubling down on Bland, Lewis, and their young secondary talent? The contract isn't fully guaranteed after 2025, and while there would be a dead cap hit, the team could potentially maneuver around it. We're talking about business decisions here, not sentimental ones, and in the NFL, sentiment doesn't win championships. Availability does. Durability does. And right now, Trevon Diggs is neither available nor durable. And I want to be super clear with you all, this is not about blaming Diggs. He's a fierce competitor. He's loved in the locker room. His teammates respect him, and he's done nothing but work his tail off to get back. But the reality is, knee injuries like this, especially cartilage grafts, are a whole different beast. Recovery can take over a year. Performance levels post-surgery can drop significantly. And at this point, there's a serious concern that Diggs may return as a slower, less explosive version of himself. That spells trouble in a position where fractions of a second mean everything. So what's the bigger picture here? What does this mean for the 2025 Dallas Cowboys? Well, first off, it puts even more pressure on Bland. After his breakout season, he's no longer the backup. He's the number one. The go-to guy. The one opposing quarterbacks are now game planning against. That's a big leap, and while Bland has shown the instincts and ball skills, it remains to be seen whether he can sustain that level of play now that he's the main target. Behind him, the Cowboys will likely rely on a rotation of veterans and young talent. Jordan Lewis has been consistent, but he's not Diggs. Eric Scott Jr. showed flashes last year but is still unproven. And let's not forget that the Cowboys also lost some rotational depth in free agency. So now the team might be looking at a position of strength suddenly becoming a position of vulnerability. This could impact everything: coverage schemes, blitz packages, even Micah Parsons' deployment, because if the secondary can't hold, you can't afford to gamble up front. And yes, the ripple effect goes beyond the field. The Diggs contract now becomes a warning sign for how Dallas handles big money extensions. CeeDee Lamb is due for a mega deal. Micah Parsons is going to reset the market for edge rushers. The front office has to be asking itself, can we really afford to take on this level of risk again? And let's talk fan reaction for a second, because Cowboys Nation is, understandably, divided. You've got fans who want to stand by Diggs no matter what. They see him as a cornerstone player, someone who gave everything to the team and deserves patience and support. And then you have fans who are thinking strictly business. They're saying, we've got to move on, use the money elsewhere, and build for the future. And you know what? Both sides have valid points. That's what makes this so tough. If this were any other player, maybe someone who wasn't so tied to the team's identity, it might be an easier decision. But this is Trevon Diggs. And whether you love him or question the contract, you can't deny the impact he's had when healthy. Just look at the stats. Look at the tape. He changed games. He baited QBs into mistakes. He brought swagger and fear back to the Cowboys secondary. And now, there's a real chance we may never see that version of him again. So what happens next? Well, the Cowboys front office is going to be quiet for now. They'll say all the right things. They'll support Diggs publicly. But behind the scenes, you can bet your boots that contingency plans are already being discussed. Don't be surprised if Dallas makes a move in free agency, looking for a veteran corner who can hold down the fort for a year or two. Don't be surprised if they target a cornerback in the early rounds of the next draft, even if they have other needs. And don't be surprised if, come next offseason, we start hearing whispers about a potential post-June 1 ST release or trade. It's cold. It's brutal. But that's the NFL. It's a business, and every roster spot, every cap dollar, every snap counts. And I'll leave you with this, Cowboys Nation. Injuries like this force teams to make legacy-defining decisions. Trevon Diggs is more than just a player. He's part of a brotherhood. He's part of this franchise's DNA. But the NFL waits for no one. If he can't come back 100%, Dallas will have to face the future without him. And that future? It starts now. So stay locked in, because we'll be watching every update, every rehab report, every front office move with eagle eyes. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single Cowboys update. This is your #1 spot for everything Dallas Cowboys, and we'll be tracking this story every step of the way. Until next time, keep your heads up, stay loyal, and always remember, how about them Cowboys?